to the premieres of Star Wars The Force Awakens Friday morning, being a part of their program, their presentation, and then watching a movie. Life is good. Also want to thank our good friends at Semantic and Prevalent for reaching out to invite me to meet Mike Bossy, New York Islanders Stanley Cup winner Mike Bossy. Want to thank you guys for, hey, it's been a great time. I don't want to say it's been a great time being me, but so blessings out to, big guy up above. Want to ask you really quick, do video games affect teen driving? Over the past week, we've been releasing blogs on Late Night Parents about, teen driving. I mean, you find it, various different articles up there. But the question is, do video games affect teen driving? I mean, because the question is always to, turn off that video game and do your homework already is practically the motto of many households with teenagers. But, there's been so many different studies going on. How does that affect the teen? So here are some additional ways we want to make sure, because these teens are out there and they're playing Grand Theft Auto and they're driving crazy and they're doing whatever. We don't want to say it's every teen, but here are some additional ways to help teens develop healthy driving habits. You got to ask young drivers to turn off screens well before getting behind the wheel. That's so important because nowadays I see so many people at the stoplight looking at their phone, texting, and the light has changed from red to green. You got to prohibit speeding. Most teen drivers don't have the experience to handle a vehicle at high speeds. Well, I mean, that says it all. We have to encourage teens to leave early so they don't feel like they have to speed to get where they're going. How many times have you been in a situation where you're going to work and you show up 5 minutes late, and the answer is always, or the comment is always, leave earlier. Leave earlier so you don't have to speed and drive crazy out there. Give new drivers extra practice in changing weather conditions. There's a reason racing games add rain to increase the difficulty of a course. I mean, you got to think about it because, number one, my daughter is 14 and she's 2 years away from asking daddy for the car. So you got to keep your eyes on this. And you got to model safe driving habits, like leaving at least 2 seconds of space between your vehicle and the car ahead. The most important thing is, if you're at that situation where you have, a parent-teen, what's great is a parent-teen driving contract to set the expectation of safe driving. So these are just a couple of few tips. You can find the entire story on latenightparents.com. But with everything, with all of that said, I got to bring my brother into the room. He doesn't require this long introduction because he's a friend to the room and he's a friend to me, none other than Bucko Bruce. What's going on, Bucko?
Hey, man, it's beautiful to be here. I'm just trying to come in here and maybe some of those blessings that you get will rub off on me. That's all I'm doing. I'm being selfish right now.
Oh.
Good to hear from you, bro.
Good to hear from you as always, man. Always happy to hear from family. And for the folks that remember, Big Bucko and Teddy, two teams, as he likes to call me, first rocked the mic together at the Barbershop Sports. Inside the barbershop, we rocked for a few years together on the mic, on the station down the dial. But as usual, some things, I guess, we get to a point where we grow up and we go our separate ways, but we always tend to come back because we're friends. And it was nothing better than getting with Big Bucko when I was in ATL, and I have committed in a private conversation to be in ATL this coming year, 2016. I don't know if to see those Braves, those horrible Braves, but to do something down there, maybe see the College Football Hall of Fame or something. But Bucko, before we get into anything, what is going on with the family?
Oh man, the family is hopefully not growing anymore. We're going to keep it solid with the three Rugrats. The youngest is 10 months and already starting to walk. And, I got a 3-year-old just finishing up on the potty training. When she's not, just deciding to go in the floor of the bathroom. I don't know why she decided to do that, but that's just one of the many joys that come along with what we do. And I got the 9-year-old going on 20. So a lot of fun times around this way.
That's good. That's good, man. I'm telling you, it's nothing better than, and this is two men on the phone. I got the phone ringing in the background. They must be calling for you. I told them, don't call that line if you want to speak. You want to speak to Bucko Bruce, you call 347-857-1947. But
you see that, people? That's called natural segue, natural talent. That's Teddy the Great right there.
but what's important is the fact that we're two men, and we can sit and we can talk about potty training. You're not getting this anywhere else. You can talk about potty training and the problems and the issues and noticing like the wins, the small wins that you run into when your child successfully uses the potty, and you're just like, yes, because you're thinking about, truthfully, to keep it real, Bucko, we were thinking. I know I was thinking. I said, man, I'm done with these Pampers, these training pants, all of this other stuff.
Yep.
It's the pocket, brother.
My pocket cannot handle these damn Pampers. And I got one more that's going to be in them for a couple more years, but, at least it's not two anymore.
No, and here's the other piece. The other piece about this was, and we could relate to this, and soon-to-be fathers, this is what you got to look forward to, is it's one thing when you're buying for your newborn and you can, you spend the $30 or $40 and you can get like 80 Pampers versus when your child is at that age of training pants age, you're still spending the same amount, but you're getting like 12.
You're getting 8 of them, yeah.
Totally.
If you have a bad couple of days, you're done.
You're done, and you're running back. Yeah. And God forbid if you go into Toys R Us or something like that, one of those crazy stores that are overpriced, that's something else. But I will say this, segueing from fatherhood, Bucko, what is going on with those Braves? It's everyone else is getting players and signing players to these outrageous contracts. And I just see the Braves giving everyone away. What's happening with your Braves?
No, the winter meetings have been very unkind to us Braves fans, and I know there's several on Twitter that we communicate with that share my sentiments. What are we doing? What is the direction? You told me the goal was to get young aces, young pitching arms to build like we did in the early 90s. And I'm like, okay, I'm with you. So what you do, you have Jason Hayward, who obviously we weren't going to be able to pay this year looking at the mega deal. The Cubs just grossly overpaid for him, and I laughed silently at them for doing that. But we knew we weren't going to be able to do that. That's fine. So what do? You go out and get Shelby Miller for him, who, if you give him some run support, is a top 10 pitcher in the National League. Now you're going to trade him for a situational hitter and a couple of single-A pitchers. What the hell? That makes no sense at all. A 24-year-old possible ace who pitched his butt off for you last year. You trade him for people that are not household names and are single-A pitchers. It bothers me. I don't know what the direction is. I don't know what the vision is. I sure would like to know because, I'm now a hop, skip, and a jump away from the new stadium that'll be up in 2017, but I have to figure, are they worth my money? Are they giving me a product that's worth me spending money to go see them? And right now, it's a glaring no, in my opinion. I don't know how you see it. I know you're laughing, But.
I'm laughing big time, but because I know that's your team. I'm kind of crying silently. I want to cry.
It's the team of the entire Southeast. There is no team in the Carolinas. There's no team in Tennessee, Alabama. This is a team of a 5-6 state region. That this is their team. and you're giving them nothing. I mean, I understand if you were the Tampa Rays or if you were, the Padres or something, you have to operate on a minimal budget. I understand making some of these moves, but we're not a small market team. It's time to start acting like you're trying to win baseball games. That's very frustrating.
You're putting up a stadium, and most of these stadiums nowadays are almost $1 billion. Everywhere you look at it. I'm not sure. I don't have the information, so I'll put it out to you. Is it using private dollars or public dollars for the new stadium?
Both.
Oh, okay.
They did the hotel and tourism tax increase, which basically is a sales tax increase. Like if you go to restaurants or you go to hotels or you purchase certain type of things, there's a heavier levy on those particular purchases. So that's how they make that up. And then the Braves put up money, and Cobb County put up a good portion of the money as well. So that's the issue. That's why they're here in Cobb County, because City of Atlanta and Fulton County would not pony up any state funds to assist building it. And I believe this stadium, SunTrust Park, is supposed to be somewhere around $700 million. It's going to be smaller than Ted Turner Stadium is, hold less people, but it's still going to be state of the art. It's going to be one of those. Same with the Falcon Stadium. They're going to be wired to your device. Like you can order concessions and things from your smartphone sitting in your seat. There's going to be a lot of cool intricacies to make it enjoyable for the fan. They're building an entire village around the stadium of like little events, little batting decks and batting cages and things of that nature where you can go and enjoy stuff like that with the family.
You know what I'm noticing more and more nowadays? These parks are smaller. Well, for the casual fan, it's less seats, but there's going to be a heck of a lot of luxury suites there, and the amenities. Like when we saw stadiums like Camden Yards back in the early '90s, and then all of a sudden when you see Citi Field pop up, and you see the Nationals ballpark pop up, and it's going to be the same thing with the Braves. The amenities keep you away from even enjoying the game.
Well, I mean, it's not keeping you from enjoying the game. I actually applaud Citi Field, Nationals Park, or what the Braves are doing, what the Falcons are doing. What these owners are doing is they're realizing TV has made the game a whole hell of a lot better at home. A whole hell of a lot better. So they have to do something to improve the live experience, to do something. Because baseball is, a lot of times, man, especially when you got a team like the Braves that aren't very good, it's like watching paint dry. Like you almost want to get hit in the face by a fly ball so you have some action. That now can be, changed by having little venues and things of that nature to at least keep your kids happy, to where it's a nice family bonding experience. So
it's true.
I applaud those efforts.
It's a fan-friendly experience now, and baseball is almost at $9 or $10 billion in revenue.
Oh, good. They're making too much money.
They're right.
I mean,
they're right
we're in the wrong business, man.
I know we are in the wrong business.
Why didn't we learn how to calculate stats into WAR and things of that nature and become baseball nerds and be millionaires?
I don't know.
Where were we at when they did this?
We weren't there with them. I mean, we should have been hanging out with Paul DePodesta and Billy Bean and heck, Sandy Alderson and the rest of them. We should have been hanging out with all of them.
I was sitting there making fun of those guys, calling them nerds. Now look at me. I'm the nerd
my goodness. Hey, I want to switch gears a little something because I know you best for being the quarterback guru. I know you best for talking about the pigskin. I know you best. I mean, yes, you're well-versed in baseball, but I want to talk about a little football, a little fantasy football there's like 2 rounds left in most fantasy leagues.
That's correct.
What's your thoughts on the fantasy football? Well, number one, I know you're in various leagues of fantasy football. How did you do this season? And are you still competing?
I only did 3 leagues this year. I promised the wife that we'd cut it back. We're not going to be extravagant. And plus, with the weekly fantasy, I dabbled in that a good bit. I had some good success on FanDuel, was a good